Hi, today on episode 346 of your favorite daily podcast, A Couple of Things, a podcast about things. I'm going to talk about some of the things I have learned from the managers that I've had, and I've generally had great managers, so yeah, let's get into it. I've been very lucky in my career to have amazing managers for the most part. Like, my managers have been really great, generally. And so I wanted to just talk about some of the things that I've learned from observing them, like what made them good managers for me. And if you're a manager of people, maybe you can learn something. Also, I have had the opportunity to manage people a few times, and like I've had assistants a few times here and there, and I've also managed a team like at work and then also in other circumstances. And I tried to apply things that I learned there. And generally, I've gotten good feedback about the times that I've managed people. So, yeah, I learned from them and I applied it, and it's great. So, yeah, let's get into it. Also, apply to how to be a good mentor. I think I've talked about how to be a good mentee on the podcast. So how to be a good manager slash mentor, or what I've learned from my managers and mentors about being a good manager slash mentor. So number one, actually care about your mentee or whoever you're managing. And this is like, as a person, care about the person as a person. And caring about them and being kind to them is not the same as not having boundaries or maintaining boundaries, but it's just about realizing that your mentee or the person who you're managing is a human being, and you should treat them as such. You should care about their personal development, their professional development, seeing them grow in their career, and even outside of the organization that you work in, like actually being, yeah, care about them. I don't know how else to say that. Just care. The second thing that I learned about that, I learned from them, from my great managers, is to be honest and to give good feedback, which is kind of related to the first thing about caring about them. Because giving good feedback, I don't mean like only tell them good things. I mean, when you give feedback, give it in a good way, in a way that they can actually do something with it. Whether it's like, oh, you've done this thing well. Don't just say you've done this thing well. Say why it is a good thing that they've done. And if it's like, oh, you've not done this thing well, explain why it was not done well and what will make it be well, make it be good, make it be better. Basically, don't just say, oh, this was great or this was not great. Be specific, give examples of ways in which it was great and ways in which it can be better. And when you're saying, oh, you've done this amazing thing, don't just say it was amazing. Like, give specific examples of instances where they have done something that you liked or was great. It's like basically using the star method, but this time to give them feedback. Basically, like, oh, this was the situation, this is what you did, and this is how it worked out, or how it didn't work out, blah blah. And then being honest in terms of what is actually obtainable in the organization. So don't promise promotions that you can't give. Don't, say that, oh yeah, we can do this or that, but you can't actually do it. Be honest and say, oh, this may not be possible now because blah blah blah, but in X number of months, years, and actually mean it. Don't just say it to like pacify them. Mean it. Be honest. Please be honest with people, just as a general point, but as a manager, yeah. And then number three is to understand their goals. As a manager or as a mentor, you have to really understand what the person wants to achieve. And if they don't know yet, you have to be able to guide them to uncover that and to craft a goal for themselves. And then, because you understand the goals, takes me to the next thing, is to share opportunities with them. So when you understand what they want to achieve, and as you observe them, you can see like areas where maybe they have potential for something, or where they could do something, even though they don't explicitly and expressly say, oh, I would like to do this thing. You should be able, as a good manager, to identify that in them, to say, oh, this is something that could be great for you to do, and share those kinds of opportunities. And if they said they want to do a certain kind of thing, share those opportunities with them as they come up in the organization, because as the manager, you have more oversight into things that are happening in across the organization than they do. So you probably be able to spot those kinds of opportunities faster than them in the organization. And depending on the kind of relationship you have with the mentee or with the person you're managing, you can even share with them opportunities outside of the organization that could be helpful for their own career growth, professional growth, personal growth, or growth within that organization. And then be clear and enable a culture of asking questions. Your mentee, the person you're managing, they should be comfortable to ask you questions. They should be comfortable asking for help. They should be able to come to you to say they don't understand something or they can't find a certain thing when they have put in the effort to do it by themselves. They should be comfortable to say, oh, this is not clear to me. Can you explain it? You have to enable that culture where where they're not afraid to ask you questions, where they don't feel like, oh, if they ask you questions, then you think they don't know their work and then they will be put on performance improvement or whatever. Like, don't create a culture of fear with your mentee or with the people that you're managing in your team. It's very weird. Like, don't do that. And then don't expect weird things from people. Like, be a reasonable person. I don't know how else to say that, but be reasonable. And also don't micromanage. Oh my god. Some people do require micromanaging because, especially like if this is the first time somebody's doing something and they need hand holding to an extent. But like, if every single day in every single thing you're micromanaging, there's a problem. Either you don't know what they're doing or they don't know what they're doing, and it needs to be fixed. So yeah, like, be reasonable and don't micromanage. So in summary, care about the person, understand their goals, share opportunities with them, be honest with them and give them good feedback, and create a culture of asking questions, mutual respect, basically. And yeah, those are some of the things I learned from my amazing managers that I've had, and how they interacted with me, and yeah, and things that I try to do when I'm in a position where I'm leading a team of people or managing someone or mentoring someone. So hope this helps if you are in such a position. Yeah, thanks for listening. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye.